Have your thing after. But on a serious note, no, nothing was settled. Time at my own. We started late, so we finished late for the afternoon break, so it's okay, I've got time. Lady at the back, you put your hand up as well. Give this lady a round of applause. Take a seat, my darling. Imagine they're not here. I know it's a weird environment. Afterwards, I will explain how all this works. I'm not just going to do it like, ha-ha, I can do this. I'm actually going to share with you how and why it works afterwards, I promise you. You got your name back, John.
Oh, it keeps coming.
Remind me. I'm sorry, Karen, I am crap with names. I really am. Thank you, Karen. Let's imagine nobody's there, so we'll now imagine we're in the therapy room. So, brilliant. Karen. I believe there's something, I don't need to know what it is. In fact, I don't want to know what it is. It's not because I'm not interested. It's because I feel it's personal and private to you. And there's no reason for me to know. You know, I wasn't there when it became an issue for you. So I don't need to know what it is right now. You're your own personal best expert. So let's allow you to take control of the whatever this may be. So just close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Then out through your mouth. And take a few moments to get a sense and a feeling of whatever that issue, memory, the negative thing that you've got in mind that used to bother you really bad in the past. What it was, what it is, what it means, and all the offshoots that are connected to that. You're the expert, so you know what it is you need. And one to say goodbye to positively and permanently today. So with that in mind, get a sense of the feeling of all the bits that are relevant for you. And when you feel you've got a sense and a feeling of that, in a way that feels calm, safe and secure and right for you, then and only then, just open your eyes. Okay, so if we had a scale of 0 to 10, 0 down here is nothing, 10 up there, the worst it ever was, like pulling your hair out, really fucking bad, what sort of number would we be at? A 10. Oh, as high as that, okay. So, oh, right, okay. So it's all right. You know what? It's great you can let that out. I always think of tears as being, you know, like a kettle. The old-time kettles, the old type of kettles that you put on the gas hob. And it's been left there and it's boiling away and it's going to explode unless you let it out. So it's actually really good to let it out, because then you also know that today is the day you can change that, and are changing that right now, this moment. So it's a 10.
It's a 20 actually. If I could go off the scale, it's a 20.
Okay. Do you want to say goodbye to that?
Mm-hmm.
In the way it used to really feel, what you feel, it'd be good to leave that behind, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, take your right hand, Karen. Take your first 2 fingers. I'm going to do this with you so you don't feel daft. We're going to have a rehearsal. I want you to tap your psychic third eye area, just in the centre of the forehead there, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to go roughly just below your belly button, what they call the base chakra energy point. 1, 2, 3 times. That general area. And then you're going to do your right shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Your right shoulder. 1, 2, 3 times. Your left shoulder. 1, 2, 3 times. Your top lip, 1, 2, 3 times. Then we're going to hum happy birthday. That was the rehearsal. We're now going to do it 3 times, because we've already explained that things work by the power of 3 with the mind. As you do it, think about that used to bother you in the past. Okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Base chakra, 1, 2, 3. Your right shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Your left shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Your top lip, 1, 2, 3. And again. Third eye, 1, 2, 3. Base chakra, 1, 2, 3. Right shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Left shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Top lip, 1, 2, 3. And one more time. Psychic third eye, 3 times. Acupressure point, base chakra, 1, 2, 3 times. Right shoulder, 1, 2, 3 times. Left shoulder, 1, 2, 3 times. Top lip, 1, 2, 3 times. And I know it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? Just close your eyes and try to get a sense of the feeling of what it used to be like in the past. Think about that thing that used to bother you, that used to be a 20, and notice the differences that are there now. I see a little bit of a wry smile on your face. It's good to laugh, isn't it? You know, to be able to leave that behind and feel so good about it right now. Open your eyes, because here's the really weird thing. On a scale of 0, down here, nothing, 10 up there, the worst it ever was, you said it was probably a 20. But if 0's down here, nothing, gone completely, how much lower down would you say that number is now, that feeling?
5.
A 5. We're already got from a 20 to a 5.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. Yeah, I mean, that's seriously taking control, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that a level you feel it's appropriate to leave it at, or would you like to dissipate it even further?
0.
You want it at 0? Okay.
Is that greedy?
No. You know what feels right for you. Some people want, if that's how you feel, control, your sense of control, brilliant. What I'd like you to do is just look at the watch, okay? I'm going to move the watch around. Now, imagine that this is a clock face. Albeit that as I move this around, I know it's anti-clockwise to you. But at some point on that circle, and I'm going to do it first, as you think about that number 5, you'll find there's a point on that circle where it's like, yeah, that's where it's bad, that's where it's number 5, and the rest of the circle will be fine. But there'll be some point that is the number 5 point. When I get to the point, to number 5, tell me to stop. There, okay. And now, we need to find the best point on the circle. I know all the rest isn't number 5, but we need the point that's like, yeah, not a problem whatsoever, it's sorted. Gone in the past, hey, fantastic, celebration time. So, thinking about that right now, where would be the most bestest pot here? Shit here, fantastic there. Here's the shit, look. When I move the watch, keep your eye on the watch. When I tell you to blink, you blink, okay? I'm going to do this 3 times. Watch the watch. Shit here, positive here, yeah? 3, follow the watch. 2, 1, whoosh! Blink, 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 blink. This is where the shit was, yeah? Look. Whoosh! Blink, 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 blink. One more time. Whoosh! Blink, 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 blink. Just close your eyes, try and get a sense of a feeling. Try and get a sense of feeling of that number 5, as it was a few moments ago. Notice the changes that you've been able to take control of. Notice how different that feels. Fantastic, nice little smile there, that's good. Open your eyes. Scale of 0 to 10, we know we were at 5 before, but if 0's down here gone completely, how much lower would you say we're at now? We've got to the 0.
Yeah.
You know the really freaky thing about this is, once you program your computer, your mind, unless you go through a similar kind of ritual, however ridiculous or daft it is, unless you purposely went through another ritual, it can never go back. So even in a few moments' time when I explain how all this is done, it's not going to undo that. That's going to remain, because that's now your reality, and it's going to grow stronger, and it's going to be amplified more positively for you, especially as everyone gives you a round of applause. Thank you for volunteering. I'm starting to think I might be quite good at this shit. Okay, give you a couple of therapy demos there. I've given you a bit of stage hypnosis demos. In a nutshell, they all boil down, and it's true what I just said, despite what I'm about to share, for those people who've just experienced a genuine feeling, genuine emotions, I am not mocking you with what I'm about to say. You're very brave to come forward. I appreciate that immensely, especially in this environment, and it's not going to undo it. If anything, it's just going to make it stronger, because as I explain what went on really there, you'll realise that I shouldn't be credited for this. The changes that you've genuinely made for yourself, and that's the key, that you genuinely did it for yourself. I just acted as like the film director. You've done it for yourself. Only you could ever undo that by going through some strange ritual. Me explaining what I just did, the tricks behind it, will not undo it. In fact, it will just empower you more to know that you genuinely took control and said goodbye positively to the past. And those people who've done NLP courses and stuff in the past will be ahead a bit on some of the techniques I've used. And will know that the past I always refer to and physically show as being over here, and we're moving forward to the future. They call that spatial anchoring. and I talk about the moment the client's in the therapy room, that issue that used to bother them in the past. I'm acting as though it's already being solved. Not it might be, it already bloody is. As Steve says, conviction, charisma, confidence, credibility. I build credibility up in the consulting room in ways that I'll tell you in the final session of the day. I didn't need to do that credibility bit because I think I'd already built that up by doing the audience testing in this environment, but normally in the therapy room I would have done something just before that, which I'll cover later. There are a couple of tricks. It doesn't matter what the fuck I did. It truly doesn't matter. It's the way I did it. It's the way you do it. You have to give the client an environment psychologically, but it also helps physically. So the room with the diplomas up and the books and all that stuff helps. You're pre-advertised, but you need to give them an environment where they feel safe. Where they feel they've got permission to change. Because you know the fact is people can sort the fucking selves out. Two people brought up the same way, because the same environment, the way you're brought up can be different. So let's hypothetically say there's two people brought up identically. There's no reason, there's no differences with them. I know it's purely fictional this, but just imagine it. They both get gang raped. One of them becomes a victim for life. The other one goes, no, I'm not going to be a fucking victim, it was terrible what happened, but I'm moving on in life, and they end up maybe channeling that into helping other people who are in the victim mentality to get out of it. They have a choice, and it's as quick as that, a choice. And that's all that happened with our wonderful volunteers. They made a decision. That was the time they decided. That moment. You've got to make the person feel that they can take control, but at first that can be a bit scary. Hence, it's better to have this perceived authority figure, the expert, helping them. Because at heart, the only thing stopping people from stopping smoking, losing weight, whatever it is just making that decision and not doing it anymore. I'm going to stop smoking, simple. Put the cigarette out, don't buy anymore, don't smoke anymore, job done. Want to lose weight? Burn off more calories than you're putting in. Unless there's a genetic or medical reasoning behind as well. There are odd exceptions to the rule, but they are the odd exceptions. Your bread and butter money is from people where it is as simple as, say inside every fat person is a thin person trying to get out. Shouldn't have had the fucker in the first place then. Then you wouldn't be fat. But I digress slightly. And I believe that the perfect therapy client, and I am reassuringly expensive for a reason. I don't want the attention, I want to rule out the majority of attention-seeking fuckwits. Whose basically problems are that they associate with the wrong people who are not truly friends, and even members of the family, out of a sense of guilt, they get forced into corners. But really, if they just went, fuck off, concentrated on themselves, be selfish to be selfless, they'd find all these other symptomatic behaviours would probably disappear. And that can be the key to a lot of people losing weight rapidly, getting off drugs, all manner of things. But if they suddenly did that, anyone who was left in a circle of family or friends, or anyone who knew them at work, they'd probably turn around and go, John, I know what you're saying. You're not smoking when we go to the pub on a Friday after work, or, oh, you've lost a load of weight. You look better for it. Why didn't you do it sooner? And that's why a lot of people relapse. Because they haven't got a justifiable reason to give back. They can come out with all manner of bullshit. But the truth is, deep down, albeit on an unconscious, subconscious level, they know the only person they have to blame for being a fat fucker, a smoker, an alcoholic, whatever, is themselves. They can go, oh, it's because my parents bummed me when I was a kid. Fuck off. Yes, that might have happened, but it doesn't mean you have to be a victim. There's loads of people out there that happened to, who self-support, who try and help other people get out of victim mode. If they can do it, that means, as they say in NLP, possible in the world, possible for me, or possible for your client. Conventional psychology, psychotherapy, call it what you will, calls it cognitive dissonance. It's the person can't justify why they didn't get off their arse and do it themselves sooner. So they need an external excuse, an external permission to change, something to blame it on. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck in this cycle of self-blame, shame, guilt and regret. And I've been reading a book recently, I literally only read these in the past month. And it's amazing how many similarities with stuff that I was teaching years ago. I don't think before this was published. That was 91, no. But this was actually published before I was teaching people. But I genuinely hadn't read this until this month. But people said, oh, there's a lot of similarities. So I read, and there is. But Louise Hay, the power is within you. There's Louise Hay, heal your body. I haven't got it here because I've kept it for the bookshelf. There's, you can heal your life, which is great to read. She also adds to the self-blame, shame, guilt and regret, frustration, anger, and resentment. I thought, yeah, you're right, Louise. Put them together. Self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment. They're the underlying things that are stopping everyone, whatever their issue is, from changing. Self-blame, shame, guilt and regret. And then, as I say, Louise A. added frustration, anger, resentment. They are the underlying root cause. One or more of them, often in a combination. And on one level, the reason why people can't just, well, they don't allow themselves to go, that's it, is because they know deep down the people will go, why didn't you do it sooner? Then they're getting blamed there and they don't want that. So they go and see a therapist and they can walk away. And when people go, why didn't you do it sooner? You go, well, I tried this, I tried that, but you know what? Then I found that I got this expert referred to me. I went to them, cost a fortune, but you know what? It ain't half work. I recommend them to anyone. And the more you charge, the more likely that is because they'll buy into it with a commitment. So they've got to be committed to change. That moment's got to be right. And a lot of people that go for therapy, the moment it isn't fucking right, they're attention-seeking fuckwits. If they want someone just to talk to, go like that. Find religion, fuck it. You know what I mean? Chad Vera of the Samaritans said, don't just do something, sit and listen. Often people just want to moan at somebody and then they feel better. They're not the clients I want. Life's too short. Showed you with the diagram earlier. Life's way too short. They're not the clients you want either if you deep down honest with yourself. If you walked in here trilling, I love life, I want to help people, well, you can still walk out and pretend that, but deep down, be honest to yourself at least. That isn't what your life's about. So, and also you're then doing the clients a favour, because then you only get the ones in front of you who are truly ready for change. And guess what? That's why I have the balls to offer 100% money back guarantee on all my therapy sessions. Because I filtered out the footwits that aren't going to change. All they're really paying me for is an important seeming ritualistic process that they could buy into with some perceived credibility. It must be true because of bits of paper on the wall, social proof on the website and all the stuff that makes it seem real. Yes, the doctor title helps because people can perceive it's medical. Using the term consultant rather than hypnotherapist helps because it sounds better than the mind care organisation helps. Complete unconscious reprogramming of emotional disease and distress. I'm still doing the same shite. We all do. But with a different, as Alan Partridge would say, it's just a title. Only those people who've seen that will get it. It's better than me order. Complete mind therapy. There's nothing missing, it's complete. Now, your client's about the problems away. All of this which you can get for one small payment of literally 98% off the normal retail price. The Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp normally costs a fucking fortune. I do give it away to people free. I don't really sell it now. I haven't done it in years. In fact, I spent more money on fucking Facebook ads than if you got yourself. Let's go. I need to go on if you want to do internet marketing, I believe this man over here, I'll be getting up later, Rob Temple. You want to do Facebook ads, I suggest you go on one of his courses, because I haven't got a fucking clue. But I normally give it to people, but only when they come on my 2-day courses. Because that way I can genuinely say to people that have come on the 2-day course, and they can genuinely, sincerely, truly, legally and lawfully walk away and say the following kind of phrase on their advertising. That after receiving over 300 hours of training with Dr. Jonathan Royle of the Mind Care organisation, that they now are a fully certified, diploma-bearing practitioner of complete unconscious reprogramming of emotional disease and distress, mind-emotion liberation techniques, complete mind therapy, blah, 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 blah. It sounds greatly impressive. When people are doing the research on the internet, they go, oh, most hypnotherapy courses are only about 100 hours tops, or all this, 300 must be better. That's the way people think. I don't suggest you ever, when you buy the boot camp, not if, when you buy it, no, or you know, I want to give it you all free actually, I genuinely do, and I'll tell you later how I'm going to give it you free. Just mean you might have to juggle your diary to come to a different event. You don't need to watch all 300 hours, you just watch the bit that's relevant to you. If you want to get into the sports psychology niche, you watch that. If you want to do pain control, you just watch that. I've worked with Richard in the break, he'll tell you he's in the boot camp, Diane's in the boot camp. There's a few people in the room that are in the boot camp who've been on previous events, so therefore I've given it to them, and they'll tell you it's worth every penny of $5,000, which is what it says on the website. That's not what you're going to pay. I want to give it, there's information in your folder anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. The point is, there genuinely is over 300 hours of training videos in there. Thus meaning, legally, if you ever needed to, you could prove you have received over 300 hours of training from Dr. Jonathan Royle. As long as you can prove it, it's completely legal. Football. Some people might think about ethics and morals. Fuck that, I'm not bothered about that. What I'm bothered about is making money in a manner, and the way to do that is give the client the best possible result in the minimum possible time, and they go away raving about you and send you loads of other clients, because then you spend less on advertising. I think anyone who takes longer than, for most things, with the exception of maybe weight loss or the odd, if you do, we want to get into the counselling type stuff with rape victims and real high-end child abuse. That's not where I want my life to be, but some people, somebody has to do it. If you do, then yeah, that can take longer. But generally speaking, habits, addictions, fears, phobias, that kind of stuff, the bread and butter stuff, if it's taking you longer than one session to sort the client out, you either A, weren't taught right, or B, you're actually a bit shit at what you do, or C, you're living a scarcity mentality of thinking that that's the way to make money. Rather than doing 3 sessions for 100 quid each, charge 500 quid for one. And you go, I can't just suddenly put my price up like that. Richard, can you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Have you had clients?
Yeah, definitely.
You made a profit already on
your
training, haven't you?
First couple of weeks, yeah.
You can. The only thing stopping you from doing it is the bullshit excuses you give yourself and not taking action. You just have to market yourself differently. You know, they don't market a Skoda in the same way they market a Rolls Royce. Stop being the Skoda of hypnotherapy and be the Rolls Royce or the Bentley or whatever other analogy, metaphor feels right for you. So, before we have the afternoon break, which will be in just under 20 minutes, as I say, self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment, which also showed up in Matthew Manning's book, Your Mind Can Heal Your Body, and Tim Lawrence, You Can Change Your Life. More and more books have come onto the market, and these are post after my events. I'm not saying I taught these people, but it very well could be that I have unknowingly. I mean, the vast majority of television named hypnotists, hypnotherapists, go to hypnotherapists, I'll give you something else in a minute. So, the vast majority of stage hypnotists in the world I've taught who are successful today, the vast majority of hypnotherapists, television life coaches, both in England and around the world, and yes, it sounds egotistical and arrogant, but it's true, and I can prove it. I taught, or if I didn't originally teach, they didn't get successful until they consulted with me. The non-disclosure agreement means I'm not able to tell you about certain of my celebrity clients and how I got them their certain television contracts. But if somebody had accidentally already posted that on Facebook a couple of days ago that wasn't down to me, they happened to share screenshots, and you looked at my Facebook wall and saw for yourself who they are, then I've not broken that non-disclosure agreement. But yes, I did get them that particular television gig, as I have done for a lot of other celebrities. And the reason is because I'm a lazy bastard. I genuinely, in the past year, and this is all relevant, it sounds like I'm bragging now, a bit like before, but there's lessons in this. I hope it empowers you rather than makes you go, what a twat, what a cunt. You know, I want this to empower you. I've seen the grand total, we're now in October, since January I've seen the grand total of 8 therapy clients, in person, physically. Yes, they each paid me 500 quid each. You go, 1, 2, 3, 4 grand, you can't live off that. Don't need to. You may have noticed if you go on places like eBay or Amazon and type in my name, I somewhat dominate the worldwide online product sales for hypnosis. I make enough money when I'm asleep. But I make even more money by students who've been on my 2-day events. This sounds like an upsell, it really isn't about that. It's just to explain the scenario. I refer clients to the therapist who I've taught. And some of them are still stuck in the mindset that they can only make it back. They're probably charging more than most people in their area. They might be charging 200 quid, whereas everyone else is charging 75, 100 quid. If I'm charging 500, if I can take 20% for doing fuck all, they're always delighted when I refer them a client, strangely. Work smart. Your life's more valuable than listening to people who've got fucking self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger and resentment fucking issues. And to some level, maybe, possibly, they are stuck in that zone that sick mind fraud, you know, conditioning, the way we're brought up, formative years, 0 to 7, you know, the kill your father and fuck your mother syndrome, I call it, which pretty much sums up sick mind fraud's entire training. Maybe they are, but at the end of the day, it's still self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment that's holding them back. And the way to overcome that is that they need to remember that they've got to leave that in the past, which is far away, which is forgiveness, acceptance, release. But then cognitive dissonance would kick in. It's the same with self-blame, shame, guilt and regret. And that's why they need the expert authority figure with the diplomas on the wall, the books there, the social proof on the website, a construct they can buy into, kind of believing, so that it gives them permission to change, an excuse to change, the environment to change, where they can walk away and feel empowered and leave behind all that baggage. Not the baggage of what caused them to smoke in the past or eat the sugary or fatty foods. Fuck all that. It's that they leave behind all that self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment within. And that by making them feel empowered, like they've got a sense of control over it, that sense of control helps them to feel, and also because we appear caring, you know, this, that, the other, it helps them to learn to love themselves, so that even though it may not be true, and it doesn't have to be true because reality is what the person, individual, perceives and believes for themselves, so that they can feel more loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, which in turn will automatically have a positive effect on their self-confidence, the self-image, the self-esteem, the self-control, aka willpower, which is ultimately their self-worth, their inner self-love. And I don't mean in a masturbation, I mean Like the greatest love of all, the song. Listen to that. It's a very good metaphor, that song. I'm not going to sing it, I'll spare you that, I promise you, I can't sing. In fact, my singing's worse than my impressions. And that's why we do important seeming ritualistic processes, but at the end of the day, all we're doing, because all this negative stuff that they want to leave behind, that self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment, all that shit and whatever it means to them in a way that feels right for them, a phrase you'll have heard me say quite a lot before, so they can fill in the gaps themselves in a way that feels right for them, which means it's perfect rather than us prejudging, or you can't get better than what's inside their head. But you don't need to mind rape them to find out what's inside their head. Let them do it inside their head, where it is. So in a way that feels right for you, and I always chuck in a calm, safe and secure manner. That phraseology, very important I find. Because you don't know what mental images are going to conjure up in their head. You know, it might be X, Y, Z they want to deal with, but they've actually, on an unrelated matter, got a fear of heights or lifts, and for some reason a mental image comes up of a lift, and that could cause them a fucking panic attack, or therapy call it abreaction. But if we say in a calm, safe, secure manner, it gives them control to internalise it in a way that feels calm. And we're giving them control, that's what we're doing, we're empowering them. Or at least we bloody should be, that's what it's about. With that conviction, with that charisma, with that confidence, with that perceived credibility, the expertise, the diplomas, the social proof, and all that kind of stuff. And even when we say it's bullshit in this environment, our two wonderful volunteers still experience genuine, real changes. That despite what I'm about to share with you before the afternoon break, will remain, even when I reveal the tricks. It doesn't matter what the ritualistic important seeming process is. It doesn't matter if you're going to fucking hold your hands at different points away from the body and transmit energy to the chakra points, Reiki. It doesn't matter. If the client believes in it, fine. Matters to me, I think, what a fucking bunch of shite. But, nonetheless, if that particular client buys into that particular ritualistic important seeming process, the perceived expert, they believe in it, the social proof, and all this, that, the other, for them, if that's what feels right for them, then it bloody well is. Because at the end of the day, all these negative things, self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment, an imbalance or a lacking in one or more of feeling loved, wanting, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, the knock-on effect with self-confidence and all the stuff I said before, there being a lack or an imbalance for them, all of them are negative, we'll label it negative, painful, underlying shit. I'd also say it falls into the category of fight, flight, freeze. But they're frozen. Because if the flight bit had kicked in, they'd want to get away from that. And you go, oh, but people wouldn't allow themselves to be in painful situations. What do they fucking do? They get in a comfort zone. It can be comfortable to be painful because they've got used to it. So pain itself isn't enough to push people out of it. You've got to give them massive, massive, massive carrots. Yeah, carrots is alright. I normally say chocolate bars, but that doesn't work for weight loss. You've got to give them, like the donkey with a carrot, you've got to give them, they've got to move away from pain but towards pleasure. There's got to be a replacement to fill that hole. So they feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued. So they can say goodbye to the self-blame, shame, guilt and regret, frustration, anger and resentment. So they can learn to love themselves. That's what we do for them. We empower them, or at least what you should be doing. Because when you do that, and it's quite possible to do within an hour, that's why I offer a full money back guarantee. That is why in all the years I've done therapy, and I used to see lots of clients every week, I've only ever had to refund 2, I think possibly 3 people in all those years. Hey, they were cunts. They were. They didn't even fill in the pre-session questionnaire right that I'll talk about in the last section. So I knew there were going to be trouble, but hey, that's before I learned that, I started advertising in a different manner and filtering them out more and putting the price up so it weeded out the time wasters. Or the guy who comes because his wife's moaning at him, he should give up smoking. So he comes along, but then he can go back and when he relapses, but I gave it a try, love. He never had any bloody intention. And if they truly, sincerely and genuinely are ready for change, it's done that quick. All fears, phobias are instilled that quick. They may get amplified over time with repetition, but they happen that quick. So if they happen that quick, why can't they be undone that quick? They can, when the person's ready. If there's an environment where they feel safe, an environment where they feel empowered, an environment where they can walk away, and nobody can point the finger and go, why didn't you do it sooner? Hey, I had to save up, it cost me a lot of money this. The best expert, I've tried other things, I've tried that, it didn't work, but this did. It cost me all that self-blame, shame, guilt, regret, frustration, anger, resentment, all that negative shit left in your office. That's part of the ritual. It's modern day voodoo. You do voodoo? If you don't, you should do, because I do, and it works. It's not a machine. It really is as simple as that. So before the afternoon break, in the last part, I want to go a bit more into the placebo effect and the importance of it. I want to go and give you some actual direct strategies and examples for smoking cessation, and also for not just cigarettes, but for cannabis. I want to give you some genuine examples that I use and that work really well for weight loss clients. I want to give you some genuine examples I use for phobia clients and show you how all of those can be adapted to pretty much anything from A through to Z. It's just about how you present it. Hypnosis, whether on stage or in therapy, it's the same fucking tool. It's just used differently. But before then, yeah, what was I doing up here? Well, the tapping bit is what I call complete mind tapping. For years, I studied EFT, TFT, bloody freeway CER, which is in the Elite Hypnosis BOOTCAMP, fast release and trapped emotions with a yawn, change energy routine, freeway CER. The late Tom Bolton came up with it. I've got the rights on the videos. They're in the BOOTCAMP. You'll get them free when you take the opportunity, as I'm sure you will later in the week. I studied all of these. I thought, no, I like to do things a bit differently myself, so I took a bit from there, a bit from there. What I came up with was that I looked into it, and during looking at the history, there was this story about Roger Callahan coming up with TFT and the idea that somebody fell near a swimming pool or something, or fuck knows, I've forgotten the story basically. What I took out of it was, it sounded a bit made up, so I did my own investigation, and I've got a theory about how this came about. Sorry for anyone watching the videos who don't know what I'm on about in a minute, you'll have to go on YouTube. I think Dr. Roger Callahan was in England for some kind of conference before he'd come up with TFT. And I think he was in his hotel room, and he happened to turn the telly on while he's getting changed for this conference, and on comes the legendary children's programme, Rainbow. And I think he was watching Rainbow, and again, my impressions are crap, so make it up for yourself, but he's watching Rainbow, and George says to Zippy, "What's up, Zippy? You look down today." And he went, "Oh, well, I'm feeling a bit depressed." "Oh, but I feel so much better now." And that made much more sense. If you've never seen Rainbow, watch it, see what Zippy does, then that'll make sense. And I think Roger Callahan went, fucking tapping different points on the face. We'll say it's got something to do with meridians and acupressure. That, I believe, I think Zippy and Rainbow is behind meridian tapping therapists. So I thought I'd come up with my own and call it CMT. Not complete mind therapy, but complete mind tapping. And because I can't be doing with that, there's different algorithms in all these things to get you to go on different courses, to learn different places, to tap for different issues. It's all bullshit. All the areas, all the negative stuff that they need to leave behind, they've got into a freeze point. If they were in a flight mode, they'd move away from that and their life would change. If they were permanently stuck in a fight mode, they would probably die, heart attack or whatever. But in the freeze mode, it's what to do. Or victim mode, you might want to label it, but whatever. It's the direct opposite of that. That's all we're doing. We need to trigger the relaxation response in the body and the placebo effect. Placebo effect I will talk about in the final section of the day. Most important of all, But the relaxation, yes, there are rapid inductions. Yes, I'm going to teach you a couple in the afternoon session. However, you know what rapid inductions are? Bullshit. They're after therapy, really, unless you're doing TV. You know why? Actually, they can do more harm than good. You know, all this bullshit on the internet. You need to do faster inductions. You can see more clients. Fuck seeing more clients. It's the last thing I want. I want more money, not more clients. But you're genuinely doing your clients a disservice if you do rapid inductions other than out TV. Because then even when you come off the television show, if you want to be truly ethical and cover health and safety after the break, then you really should then be giving them a full-length, my complete mind therapy session to trigger the relaxation response in the body, which releases them from any residue of the fight, flight or freeze that they're stuck in, which is releasing, more than likely in their life, more cortisol, adrenaline and other things that can fuck about and give you physical health complaints. You need them released from that. And the only way the body does that with natural healing is the relaxation response kicks in. Which is having enough sleep at night. It's all that, but therapeutically, it's taking 30 minutes to get the person hypnotised with a Jacobson's progressive relaxation induction. It serves two purposes. Number one, you will release genuinely more of the feel-good, genuine body's healing chemicals into them that will create genuine organic feelings of change. Fact. Don't need to take my word on it. You can spend months and years researching it like I have if you want, or for the distilled version of all the scientific studies and papers, join the boot camp. But it is true. You use Jacobson's progressive relaxation induction, which is going through every nerve fiber tissue. Tense your toes, let them go. Ankles, tense them, let them go. Lower leg, knee up, like, through the entire body. Spread it out over a good 20 minutes. A few deepeners. There's no such thing as depths of trance as well. Get out of that. There's only two states of hypnosis. Because hypnosis is a construct, it doesn't exist. There is on stage, compliant, cooperative and doing what you say, and cunts. We're going to ruin the show. Just saying, don't shoot the messenger, it's true. In therapy, there's only two states of hypnosis, because it doesn't exist, it's just a construct. There's the person who's actually committed enough, so that's the moment they're going to change in life, because they're paying enough, they really believe it, who's going to do it, they just need that permission excuse to change. Get over yourselves. You don't do it, you just facilitate change. I'm reading between the lines. Even Milton Erickson was saying that amongst his arty-farty, winky-wanky language. The client has all the answers within themselves. Yes, they fucking do, that's the point. We just facilitate it. So there's those people who will change. And then there's the cunts. And also the people that can't afford the fee. But you know what? They're generally the same. If somebody truly is ready for change, they will save up that money. If to them the idea, where they currently spend, say, £10 a pack these days, say 30 quid a day on cigarettes, or they're getting knockoff duty-free ones, a £5 a pack maybe, I don't know, that long since I smoked. 15 quid a day, still 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, about 100 quid a week. If on the dole, dossing lazy bastards that they are, they can manage to somehow scrape that together by working illegally and all this shite, to get those cigarettes, if they truly wanted to stop, they can get 500 quid. And that's why, if they can, or they won't, I won't see them. I tell them, by all means, here's the number of a therapist who'll charge you that 100 quid. Give me a ring when you're ready to actually change your life. I don't say that therapist isn't going to work. I implant the negative suggestion, they might not. And let them fill in the blank. And you know what? Often it won't work as well as it could have done, because people who are charging that, there's only one reason why they're charging that. They've been brainwashed by the people they've been taught, or they don't believe in themselves enough. people don't buy 1 hour of your time or 90 minutes or 45 or whatever. Or at least they shouldn't be buying that. They should feel, perceive and believe that they're buying a result, an outcome, a life change. And that's worth infinitely more than 75 quid, 100 quid or something. What? To save thousands of pounds a year, be healthier, live longer, see your kids grow up and all that. You're seriously telling me you don't love your kids enough to raise 500 quid? I ain't going to help you then. You're not committed enough. NLP would call it reframing. Some of you will be thinking, what a bastard, what a cunt. When you get the idea of the concept, the price level will be different for everyone. I will just clarify that up to 2 years ago I charged £275. As society's changed and it became more, even people on the dole start getting sent credit cards that gave them a couple of £100 quid credit limit, even though there's no chance of ever repaying it, and payday loans came around. I found I was getting more of the cunt category coming. Because I could get the money easier, without commitment. So I put the price up, because most of these credit cards come with an initial 250 quid limit, not 500 quid. That's literally what forced the price increase. And you know what? I still got clients. In fact, I got more. Without advertising, because I don't actively advertise anymore. I let my reputation of many variations speak for itself. Yes, I'm the guy all the newspapers said in the 90s, hypnotise women into sex to get them into bed. And did that? No, I've paid glamour models, it was publicity. However, I got an increase in female clients coming to me for therapy. You wouldn't think that'd happen, but it did. Got 1 or 2 inappropriate offers as well. And I tell you, they call it transference and counter-transference in conventional psychotherapy and stuff. I never let that happen because I'm only seeing them for 1 session, so I can't, I can never, they're not going to get involved. I don't want to fucking know them, frankly. Most of the time, just give us your money. Anyway, that's a different story. But we go through this important, seeming ritualistic process they can buy you to believe in. All that stuff happens that's going to help them change their life. Fantastic. And it sometimes happens, my brain goes off on one. What did I just say in a sentence before? You don't remember, do you, Chef? No? Result! The buying a result. Yes, the buying a result. That's what you should be selling them. So that's what your marketing should be focused on, the result. That you're selling them a result. I had, again, this is not to brag, I had a guy come, it's 5,000 quid. I've just given the anyway. It's true. The website says 500 quid. I don't discuss price, I just say it's on the website. He came, did his fear of flying thing. Turns out he's one of the richest men in Greece with a supermodel girlfriend, and he gave me a cheque. I saw as he's writing it, it's Coots Bank. Oh, very well and good. It's not. I didn't feel the need to open it and check it. He'd gone, and he'd wrote it out for £5 grand because he valued it that much. And that taught me a valuable lesson. What is a commitment to someone, say on the dole, to scrape together 500 quid? And if they can do it to get the latest Nike trainers for the council estate scroty kids, sorry if anyone lives on the council estate, I used to, but yeah, I'm generalising here. Then if they're truly ready for change in life, they can get it together to change their life. They buy the latest Xbox and wait. No, you want to change your life? Some of that money can come this way. Don't feel guilty about taking a sizable fee. In fact, you should feel guilty if you don't. I genuinely believe there is more chance of so-called relapse or symptom substitution, where, for example, somebody stops smoking, but instead they end up eating more, because they've not filled that gap inside, so they have to find something else to fill it. And that's called symptom substitution. I believe there's more chance of that happening when you're charging peanuts. Because they're not bought into it enough, it's not credible enough. You've got to really punch them. So before the afternoon break, which is due 5 minutes ago, this afternoon we're going to cover placebo, cover the inductions, but the tricks that I did. Yeah, the tapping, back on form, thank you, I know where, roll it back round. Tapping, psychic third eye there, tap it 3 times. Base chakra just below the belly button 3 times. Right shoulder 3 times, left shoulder 3 times, top lip 3 times, then unhappy birthday. And I'll do it with you so you don't feel daft, caring, sharing, make them feel safe. And we do it 3 times with the power of 3 that I spoke about earlier in the day. Also, then it seems more important, ritual. That's why we're doing it. If we're doing it, it must be for a reason. So they can buy into that. The reason must be because you're the experienced, diploma-bearing, with all the social proof therapist who's got numerous results for other people, that this must be what they need to do for it to work for them. And cognitive dissonance will kick in positively in the sense of, well, I'll just pay 500 quid, so of course it's going to bloody work. Otherwise, I'm the idiot who pay 500 quid to tap myself there 3 times, 3 times there, 3 times there, 3 times there, 3 times on the top lip, and happy birthday 3 times. Now, yes, that is where they say the psychic third eye is. Yes, the base chakra is just below the belly button. Yes, that is my right shoulder, that is my left, that is my top lip. And that is roughly happy birthday. But you know what it also is? Bullshit, yes, but the way I remember it, because I like to be consistent